Chisaki Quirk Overhaul, and a bullet that can break down quirks.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is my beautiful wife, Montana.
And today we're going to be reacting to Season 4, Episode 6 of My Hero Academia, An Unpleasant Talk.
Yes, last episode we actually saw Gutsy Red Riot, aka Kirishima, take on a knife creation villain that had just juiced up on an enhancement of his quirk, going beyond with his hardening quirk and taking him down. And also learn that that agency, along with Uraraka and Sue's agency, is going to be partnering with Nighteye and Deku's agency to go after Overhaul and that girl that Deku ran into that he'd let go back with Overhaul. So what are your thoughts before we jump into this episode?
I'm really curious to see how Deku handles, not saving someone who clearly needed it.
Yeah, because he's already, in classes, he can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's eating away at him.
Well, and the more it goes on, the longer you wait, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Theoretically. I mean, you don't know that for sure, but it's definitely not good.
And beyond just longer, them having seen the heroes with the girl.
That's such a... Oh, God, I didn't even...
Might accelerate the clock.
God, yeah.
But we'll have to see how this goes. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're excited for episodes coming every Friday and Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes of My Hero right now, they're all posted to Patreon in their extended full-length forms, along with episodes of Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Code Geass. Alright, are we excited for episode 6 of season 4 of My Hero Academia?
Absolutely.
Alright, let's get it.
Let's go.
Dunderheads, this video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes!
Midoriya, good morning. Are you headed off to your work study too? Cool, so am I.
Yeah, I finally got called in again. Feels like it's
Did he say anything
He didn't
back?
answer.
Your work study too? Cool, so am I.
Yeah, I finally got
He's like, I want to let everyone know I'm going back to my work study.
I think it's almost like it's implied by him coming. He's like, oh, so you're going back to your work study. So
Right.
why?
Yeah, no, definitely.
weird
I've
phrase.
definitely done
Why they
more
said not to wear
weird
costumes,
social
though.
stuff than that, but
And they said don't wear
guys.
costumes.
You
Yeah.
going in today?
Yeah.
Oh, so are we. That's kind of weird.
Hey, us too. Want to walk to the station together?
Please.
how big of a
if you
group
don't
is this going to
mind.
be?
We appreciate it.
What's with
mean-
all the heroes?
Good question.
Wait, we're going the same way? I
A
thought you were working in
convention?
Kansai.
Usually, yeah, but I guess we're meeting someplace different today.
What a coincidence, us too.
Everyone's on the same train. Going to the same station. This is kind of weird. We're going in the same direction. Even turning at the same corner. Heyo.
Okay, at this point we can
Big three are
assume.
all here? What in the world? What's going on?
What's going on?
Gran Torino? And Mr. Aizawa?
Wow.
The Dragoon hero Ryukyu, the BMI hero Fat Gum, Rockluck, Kasagiri Man, and Mr. Brave? All these
Mr.
incredible people in the
Brave.
same room. From big shot pros to more minor local heroes. This is amazing!
Mr. Brave is funny.
Whatever's
Yeah.
happening, it must
What's
be
his
big.
quirk?
Hey, what's the scoop? What's going on? Talk to me, Ryukyu. I mean, I know you said there's a meeting, but what's it about?
Patience, Nedra.
Could be interning
You
for
too,
her.
Mr.
Okay.
Aizawa? I'm confused. Why are you here?
I was called in last minute for this thing.
Oh, wow, they don't even know why they're here.
About.
Okay.
You should too. Remember what I told you, girls? Students or not, you've already proved yourselves to be valuable assets.
Yep.
We may even have a role for you in a new case that's come up.
Ooh,
It's about the new case.
that's a
We're
lot
all
of people
here,
to get
Nighteye.
involved.
Let's get started.
And it's Night
Thanks
Eye's
to the
agent.
information
Okay.
provided by all of you, our investigation has progressed substantially. We've invited you all here for a joint conference to share the intel we've acquired regarding the Yakuza group Shie Hasaikai and what we believe they might be planning.
Hold on, I feel like I'm missing something really important here. What now?
Some bad guys are planning to do some bad things. And they called a
Psychi,
meeting so
like
we
the
can
frat.
talk it all out. Trust me, you two are very much involved.
And that's from when he got shot with the temporary loss of Quirk bullet.
So that's part of the case they're solving?
We don't know anything yet, but that was a separate thing that happened in the Kirishima episode.
Okay, but didn't they say, like, you're involved in this case and then pointed to his arm?
Good guess. I'm not going to confirm or deny.
All right,
Okay.
let's begin at the beginning. For the past couple of weeks now, those of us at Nighteye Agency have been conducting an investigation into Shie Hisaikai, a small but organized group of criminals.
What prompted this?
An accident involving a gang of thieves called the Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The police thought the whole thing was an accident, but there were a number of details that didn't add up, so we began tailing them.
In my capacity as a Nighteye Agency sidekick,
Weird.
I began following leads to see what I could uncover.
I don't like that.
I found that in the past year, the members of Shie Hisaikai have increased contact with those outside of their organization, including other groups whose business dealings are less than reputable. Their aim seemed to be expanding their organization and enriching its coffers. Shortly after our investigation began, they made contact with a member of the League of Villains, Jin Bubaigawara, villain name twice. They were wary of being tailed, so I was unable to follow them. But with the help of the police, I confirmed that an altercation had occurred between the two groups.
That'd be about when they decided to reach out to Sukauchi and me. Figured we'd be able to assist given the League's involvement.
Where is Sukauchi?
Follow-ups with some other eyewitnesses. You know, cop stuff. Sorry, kid. I didn't see something like this coming. I've got a bad feeling that things are about to get ugly.
I don't care if they do. I want to help.
Hold up, you know him?
Oh, Gran Torino? I did my internship with him. He looked out for me.
That's the old man who was with All Might and Camino.
Wait,
Midoriya knows some big guns.
Lemillion doesn't know Gran Torino? Like,
not many people know Gran Torino. He's like a retired hero.
Okay.
So
okay.
like him taking on Deku as
that was like a really
that was a pretty rare situation.
Wow. Okay.
And that's why Kirishima's discussing it.
Okay.
He's like, oh yeah, that's the guy because he was there.
Gotcha.
Hold up, you know him?
Oh, Gran Torino? I did my internship with him. He looked out for me.
That's the old man who was with All Might and Camino. Midoriya knows some big guns.
Go on, Bubble Girl.
So, after all that went
The
down,
eye thing is so interesting.
we posted a notice on the HN requesting assistance.
I think we can skip that part.
Sorry.
What's the HN? Stands for Hero Network. It's an online service that can only be accessed by pros. You can see what all the heroes in the country are up to. And you can ask for help from people whose quirks might come in handy.
There's Hero Instagram.
Tell me why a bunch of high
I guess
school
it's
kids
more
were invited to
Facebook.
this
It's more like
conference?
Fiverr actually, because you're like, I need your help based on your power.
Does anybody want to tell me why a bunch of high school kids were invited to this conference? I don't care if they are from UA. If we have to keep stopping to explain this stuff, we'll never get to the actual plan.
Don't say that! These two have important information to pass along.
We do?
Oh.
I want to go home.
Anyway, I see a lot of new faces, so let me introduce myself.
Just put me on the
Nice to
spot
meet
like
you.
that.
I'm Fat
I
Guy.
will
He's
die.
so cute and squishy.
Who wants candy?
Hasaikai's movements are hard to trace, but we suspect one of their main sources of income is illegal drug sales. So I requested help from heroes who have some expertise in that area.
In drug
Yeah, he said
sales?
something about catching smugglers.
Yup, I brought in my fair share of drug dealers back in the day. And at Red Riot's debut fight, he proved he could too. Tamaki was shot, and the bullet contained some kind of drug I've never heard of before. One that destroys
wow.
quirks.
Destroys quirks.
Oh, what? Tamaki, you're okay, right?
Yeah, this stuff wore off while I slept. Here, look. I've got this cow hoof and everything.
Guess we know what you had for breakfast.
I'm glad to know the effects aren't permanent at least. So this stuff doesn't zap a quirk for good.
No. But Eraserhead has some further insight.
It doesn't seem to function exactly like my erasure does, since I'm not actually attacking the quirk directly. What we call a quirk is an extraordinary addition to an ordinary human body. Those additions are collectively referred to as quirk genes. I can shield those genes and temporarily block their expression, but I don't actually damage them.
But after Tamaki here was shot, we brought him to the hospital and they found that his quirk genes had sustained damage. Fortunately, they seem to have healed on their own and he's back to normal now.
What do we know about the substance he was shot with?
Whatever it was didn't harm the rest of his body. Nothing but his quirk was impaired in any way.
That's
the guy who shot him
so
climbed up.
cool.
He won't say a word.
I mean, it's
And
not,
the
but
round that
like,
hit Tamaki
you
was
know.
totally spent. However, Kirishima bravely defended Tamaki from a bullet, which then bounced off his own body and should now provide us with a viable sample.
Whoa, I did that? Really?
Because he hardened it didn't.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome job, Kirishima.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, his quirk. It's hardening, right?
And when we analyzed the substance from the bullet, we discovered something that made me sick to my stomach. It contained human blood and cells.
Oh.
Human blood?
Yep.
Sounds like something out of
Weird.
a scary movie.
And gross.
In other
Yep.
words, that
Okay.
effect came from a person, from someone's power. A quirk that can
Oh.
destroy quirks.
Oh. Is the little girl with the horn her blood? That and they're like keeping her?
Dots here. How is all this related to Hasaikai?
The man who shot Tamaki
You'll have
used
to
an
see.
illegal drug to boost his quirk during his fight with Kirishima.
Oh no, and she was covered in bandages, wasn't she?
Although things
She was
have
covered in
shrunk since
bandages.
the old days.
Fuck.
Drugs
Okay.
still pass through various people and organizations before they finally reach the end user. There's no concrete evidence that Hasaikai handled the drug, but we know for a fact that they interacted with one of the middlemen responsible for moving it.
That's all?
The other day, Ryukyu's team broke up a fight between two villain groups. One of those groups was controlled by the intermediary organization that Fat Gum just mentioned.
One of the two giants had been given an inferior drug that didn't last long.
There have been a rash of gang-related crimes recently, and most could be connected to the Hasaikai if you try hard enough.
Which is what it seems like you're doing, trying to make them guilty. Don't you have anything that implicates them more clearly?
Their young head, Chisaki, Quirk Overhaul. With this power, he can disassemble things and then reassemble them. A quirk
That's
that allows him to
crazy.
completely break down matter, and a bullet that can break down quirks.
So
Let's keep watching.
okay.
Chisaki has a daughter named Eri. There are no records or details about her birth.
Oh
But when
no.
Mirio and Midoriya encountered her, they noticed there were bandages wrapped around her arms and legs.
Could he really do something so horrific?
Yep.
Unfortunately, yes. In a world of superhumans, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Hold on. What are they talking about?
Once again, why do we have children in this meeting? I'll say this one time. We're wondering if this Chisaki bastard is turning his daughter's body into bullets and selling them on the black market.
Good lord.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
To be clear, we aren't certain that he's actually selling the bullets.
He could
At this
just
point,
be
their
using
efficacy
them.
appears to be questionable. It's possible that they're still in the testing phase, and he's giving them out as samples to rally more people to his cause. We have no hard evidence, but we do know he's gathering allies and funds
their
from
heads are
across
like
the
that.
nation.
Yeah.
If the completed drug allows him to annihilate someone's quirk entirely, imagine the devastation he could cause.
Just talking
Guess they
about it's
could've
enough
just
to make
saved
my
her.
blood boil. Let's go get this monster!
Would have saved us a lot of trouble if these two amateurs had just gotten the girl away from him.
I take full responsibility. The blame should not fall on them.
Interesting,
Even
right?
without knowing
Yeah.
the whole story, they acted to save the child, each in their own way. Midoriya was willing to bear the risk of taking her then, while Mirio chose to wait for another opportunity when success would be more likely.
World's greatest hero. Not even close. Save 1 million people? I couldn't even save her.
I assure you, nobody in this room is more frustrated than they are.
We'll get Eri away from him next time, and we'll protect her.
Indeed. That's precisely what we've come here to discuss.
Okay.
So,
Oh god. Okay.
Lots
Okay.
to discuss
Okay. I
there.
have so many thoughts.
so many thoughts.
This adds like an entire new level to the like, oh, we should have saved her, because I mean, you could already make the argument that they should have saved her, but the argument against it is like, you don't want to ruin the plan that everyone
Jump the
else has.
gun.
Exactly. But if she was literally the weapon, like, there was obviously no way for them to know that, but like, you know, I'm pretty sure I said last episode, like, you can't know until after the situation if you've made the right choice.
Yeah.
And now you know, and it was wrong.
Yeah. The other thing I want to reiterate, that meeting between them, you were like, oh, this has to be set up. That was a complete coincidence.
Coincidence. Like that.
She tried to run.
and she was successful and happened
got
to run
away,
into like
ran into
my
two incredible heroes
God.
with one-on-one with Overhaul, and they just gave her back.
And just let them
Well, actually,
walk.
she just ran back.
And just let them walk away.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're theorizing
no.
that they're using her body to create bullets.
They're like harvesting shit. Oh God.
And we also learned that Overhaul's quirk is being able to assemble and disassemble matter completely.
Right. Yeah.
Completely. Just
into what form?
I mean, what we've seen so far is that he literally had people's bodies in half and in crazy portions at the that first gang thing, and then they came up afterwards and were completely fine, and everything was healed on them. Like, he was just able to be like, you're in half, now you're back. Deku and Mirio are obviously so upset.
God, this is such a mess. Oh my God, it's such a mess.
Yeah, I remember seeing the scene and being like, oh my God, they had her. He had her in his arms, like literally. And she said, help me.
Like, that's like the least heroic thing ever. And then the fact that at the meeting, one of the pro heroes was like, what happened?
Like, why didn't they keep him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like,
that was
granted, he was defended and that was nice. Like, you know.
It was direct orders to not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But there's the next time he gets direct orders and he has to like leave someone, not gonna happen ever in a million years.
Pretty wild reveal there.
Yes.
And they're theorizing like, what if it's in the testing phase and like what they took
I mean, there are like unlimited possibilities.
Yeah.
Where are the feathers coming from?
We'll get Eri away from him next time, and we'll protect
symbolism.
her.
Yeah.
We'll save her. We won't let her down.
You kids want to talk big, that's fine. But if what Nighteye is saying is for real, that little girl's at the center of Hisakai's entire underground drug operation. She may have managed to get away from Overhaul for a few minutes, but she got herself seen by a couple of heroes. You think he's still gonna keep her at home after that? Hell, I know I sure wouldn't. And if we go
No, they're gonna like triple lockdown.
They're gonna know that we're onto them. We gotta be sure of where he's hiding her.
He has a point.
So now we have to leave her again for the sake of everyone.
That's our conundrum. Since we don't currently know how far they've taken their plans, the success of our initial strike is crucial.
Oh no.
To that end, we've made a thorough list of groups with connections to Hisaikai, as well as properties owned by the organization. This is our starting point. I would like you all to investigate each coordinate on this map. It is the most logical way to narrow down our targets.
So that's why you asked minor heroes like us to join you.
What do you mean?
Go on, look. The heroes in this room all operate in one of those locales. We know the areas better than most.
This Flock's voice actor?
Didn't expect someone who worked with All Might for so
Sounded
long
like
to
him.
be such a careful planner. Let's just go bring him down while we're taking our sweet time. That abused girl's out there crying somewhere.
We can't do this like All Might would.
Understandable.
That's why we must be meticulous about our strategies.
All
and
Might could
predictions
just
from the
jump in there.
outset, so we have the highest chance of saving her.
He's right. We shouldn't rush. If we show our hand and then don't end up rescuing her, then we'd just be throwing gas on a fire. Like how Stain's capture was a beacon that led criminals to seek out and join the League. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they handed out Quirk-destroying weapons to those hoodlums in order to increase their recruitment.
You're thinking too dang much. If we keep sitting here yapping about it, we're never gonna get anything done.
Excuse me? I've got a question.
Oh, his jacket says FG for Fat Gum. I didn't realize that.
Gonna get anything done.
Excuse me? I've got a question. I don't know the specifics of your quirk, Nighteye. Feel free to correct. But from what I've heard of it, your quirk foresight allows you to see into the future. So why not use it on us? That's logical, right?
I'm sorry, but I cannot. My foresight has some limitations. I need a full 24 hours between activations. That means I get one person, and then I'm spent for the rest of the day. Additionally, the future is played in my mind like a flashback. Think of it like viewing a film strip. For 1 hour, I have the power to watch a person's life as a movie. The issue is, everything I see is from a tight perspective on the person in question. This severely limits my capacity to interpret context.
That should still provide
That
more than
doesn't
enough
seem that
information to be
helpful.
useful, don't you think? And it doesn't explain why you can't do it.
What if I saw
Sorry, what did he say?
context?
That should still provide more than enough information to be useful, don't you think? And it doesn't explain why you can't do it.
What if I saw imminent death in your near future? Worse, what if it were a cruel, merciless demise?
This is because of what happened with All Might. Please stop! If you continue like this, I swear, you'll face off against a villain and die an unspeakably gruesome death!
My quirk should be employed only after we've confirmed the highest likelihood of success. Then it can help ensure our victory. It shouldn't be relied upon when there are still too many uncertainties.
Whoa, hold up. Death is still information. If we know what's coming, we can figure out how to survive.
You don't understand. It's possible what I see is unavoidable.
Bro, that's the only excuse you have for real? Oh, hell no. Just use it on me now. I'll show you I can beat death.
I can't.
Yeah, all right.
We should get started. There's a child in trouble. That's what's important here.
We must confirm the girl's location and take her into our protection as quickly as possible using the most accurate data. I'm counting on your help, all of you.
If only I'd rescued her then, even if I had to use force, at least she'd be safe.
Oh man, so that's what happened that day? So frustrating.
We know you tried, Deku.
I've never seen Mirio look so down before.
We're wondering if this Chisaki bastard is turning his daughter's body into bullets and selling them on the black market.
Poor Eri.
Airy.
Yeah.
Is this a funeral or something?
Mr. Aizawa, hello, sir.
Call me a racerhead outside of school. You know, it's just my luck. Before you got involved in this, I was going to recommend that your work studies be suspended.
What? Why would you do that?
You were listening when he said the League of Villains is involved, right? That changes things.
We'll get Eri away from him next time, and we'll protect her!
Here's the deal. Midoriya, you still haven't proven I can trust you again. In order to regain our confidence, you'll need to obey every rule. I mean,
Yeah,
to the
let's
letter.
obey every rule. And then he fought freaking
Unfortunately,
Kacha.
I'm positive
Oh,
that if I
right,
try
yeah.
to stop you now, you'll do
I
something
thought you meant about letting
reckless,
Eri go.
attempt to take things into your own hands.
But he said even if I stop you, you'll probably do it.
So I'll watch you. If you're going to see this through, you gotta do it the right way. Use your head. You hear me? Problem child.
Oh, that's so cute.
Please, will you
The
try to
problem
smile?
child.
Hey, I know what'll help you. Just remember, regretting something and getting frowny
poor
doesn't
Mirio.
change things. You know it?
Yeah.
I'll only say this once, in case it gives you a little peace of mind. Just because you didn't hold on to her this time, doesn't mean you didn't give Eri hope. So keep looking forward.
Right!
Mr. Aizawa!
I said I'm a racer here.
I'm your man for the rest of my life, Eraser.
Not interested.
Sorry!
Take it down a notch, Hiroshima.
He's ready.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Midoriya, next time we'll definitely save her.
Right! No matter what!
Now I understand. Of course. You sent Midoriya to me in the hopes that he would help mend my relationship with All Might.
I thought it would give you an excuse to talk, at least.
Oh,
When you get
okay.
old, it's your
That's
job
cute.
to help stubborn youngsters. So the kid, what are your honest thoughts about him?
I think he and All Might are very similar. Especially when it comes to the madness living deep within. The one I could never understand. I see that in them both.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'll let you watch this outro now that we know about Eri.
All right.
But yeah, that is where we are left for season 4, episode 6 of My Hero Academia.
Fantastic.
What are your first thoughts?
Wow. Okay. Well, should I watch the outro? Or
So now I'm seeing it. Maybe we chill on the outro for now. But there definitely is a post-credit scene because there's so much time. There's no way it's that long. Yeah.
Yo, Eri.
Oh,
Relax, it's just me. I'm just checking to make sure you're doing okay in here. What? You haven't touched any of your toys? After I bought them special for you. Wouldn't hurt to let your guard down a little, you know. Look happy or I might be the one who gets killed next time, you brat. See, I'm not scary. There anything you want me to bring you? No worries. If I'm in the way, I'll leave you alone.
You're going to be her new caretaker. Make sure she doesn't want to run away. Use the carrot, not the stick. Be someone she trusts and feels comfortable with.
I'm a dead man. Like I have any idea what kids like. Maybe I'll grab her one of those magical girl dolls.
I've never seen this scene.
Strange. So completely different. My entire life, no one's ever reached out to me like that before.
Oh, I'm sorry. You took a tumble. Are you okay? Can I help you up? Her whole body's shaking, but she's not making a sound. What are you doing to this girl?
He felt so kind, so warm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So devastating.
That's awful.
I knew you would be pretty invested in this arc. I saw Eri, I was like, oh.
Yep.
They see all these heroes and the police. They might just disappear.
Oh.
What are your thoughts before we jump into our discussion?
Good God. Okay. So they need to get her out of there.
Never known kindness ever.
Horrendous. It did seem like, I don't know that was necessarily hope, the end from Eri, because like it's not a hopeful situation, but to have experienced some kindness or just not horrific cruelty for 2 seconds, that can maybe like confirm that there is something else out there.
Yeah.
Just kind of like ground her.
It's like the seeds of hope.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll see if those seeds germinate and grow into hope trees. But anyway, that's where we're left for this episode. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're excited for our next episode. And check out the Patreon link in the description below to see these episodes right now. We have a lot to discuss, but before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's review.
Thank you for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our amazing Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions after every episode of any show that we watch, join the link in the description below and start asking. For now, let's go to question 1. Question 1, Titan asks, the revelation of the Quirk erasing bullets being comprised of blood and cells and Eri is easily one of the darkest parts of the series. With Rocklock's chastisement of Mirio and Izuku, and going back to a question I asked a few episodes ago, would you or Montana still have allowed Overhaul to leave with Eri? Also, what are our thoughts on Nightaye's reluctance to use his quirk? Do you think the things he sees can't be changed? Okay,
if I knew then what I knew now, I would still save her. I mean, I think I said I would save her.
You said you wouldn't let her go.
Yeah. Now I also wouldn't do that. Or now I still wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't feel bad about it.
I think it's interesting because if Deku had maybe like another month on the task force or longer, I think maybe he would have felt comfortable enough to take her because it was an instinct, but because it was like his first thing, I have to think he was like, I have to do what this guy
You can't rock the boat on your first day of work. Like, I mean, it's just so fucked up. Like, it's so fucked up.
What are your thoughts on Nightaye's quirk and his reluctance to use it, and do you think the future he sees can't be changed?
Yeah, that was really interesting because like as he was describing the limitations of his quirk, honestly sounded okay, like not to be like a giant dick, it did not seem that helpful. In fact, it seemed like it could be pretty detrimental a lot of the time, because with such a like singular focus, and I mean that's got to be distorted if it's that narrow, like combined with the fact that sometimes things aren't changeable but sometimes they are.
Okay, so this is the question.
And like context. But he said that.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. He said they cannot be. He says, what if they can't be changed? That's the only thing he said. He has never said they can be changed. Guaranteed.
Okay.
He has a theory that things can't be changed once he sees them. Do you think that's the way it works in this universe, or do you?
Like, I think it probably is, with a giant asterisk that you can just be wrong about the way you interpret what you see. Like,
it's more that he's like seeing what's happening, like, and can what he's seeing not happen? Like, does it have to happen? What he sees, even if he's misinterpreting it, can it not happen, or does it have to happen? Do you get what I mean by that?
Like, can he change the future?
Like, can anybody?
Can anybody? Okay.
Or is it absolute? There's really no way for you to know right now. Because,
right. Yeah. No, I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, you know how prophecies, like in Percy Jackson, where it's like they say one thing and it definitely sounds like it's intended a certain way, but then at the end of the story you realize, oh, the prediction was correct, but just not in the way that any of us thought at all. Like, you see someone die, but then someone appears with a quirk that can make them undie, and you didn't see that happening. So you saw them die and they did die, but not really.
So in the circumstance you're thinking it can't be changed. Like, you're gonna see it, but maybe there's something you didn't see. But
yes.
You're saying it can't be changed.
I don't believe it can be changed.
Okay.
Everything you see will happen in a way, but not have the outcome that you see potentially.
Interesting. We'll see what's revealed with that, but let's go to our final question. Sorry, to our second question. We have 2 in there. Question 2. Ashton asks, at the end of the episode, Aizawa tells Class 1A he was considering their work studies to be suspended in order to protect them from the League of Villains, but changed his mind when he realized Deku's determination to save people would cause him to break the rules regardless. It seems Aizawa is attempting to protect the children while also giving them room to grow into heroes, which brings me to my question. If you were a teacher at UA teaching superpowered students how to be heroes in their dangerous world, how would you go about protecting them while allowing them to grow?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good question. Because from like just like a strictly what you should do, like you as a teacher should say, no, you shouldn't go do this dangerous thing. It would be so dumb to observe everything about Deku and go, yeah, if I tell him not to, he'll listen. So then you have a teacher have obviously like prefaced with, you know, what needs to be said, but then also address the reality of the situation. I think probably the best thing you could do as a teacher in that sense is like a similar thing to how parents handle when their kids start like going out. The idea of like, I don't care if it's 4 a.m. I don't care if you're 2 hours away.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're not where you said you were going to be. I don't care if you're hot, like whatever.
It doesn't matter.
I will come get you, and we will don't have to talk about it.
I will not judge you.
Like in a situation where you need help, like I will always be there and not cause you difficulty. So probably that kind of situation, or probably that kind of thing. And then also just giving them the information you can so that they're as well prepared for a situation as they can be.
Yeah, I think these are all great points.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should be a teacher at UA.
Sign me up.
Yeah, you'd be their like therapist.
Yeah, except I can't talk in front of people.
We'll be a good therapist, Quirk. Let's go to our final question. Jinchurki87 asks, thoughts on that it appears Deku may well be the first person Eri has ever known that showed her actual kindness.
God, I mean, that's so heartbreaking.
The voice actress is so devastating as Eri.
I mean, she's
sounds
doing
so
an amazing job. Yeah, no, she sounds so young. And just so broken, you know, which, I mean, like, obviously. I found it really interesting that Overhaul was, like, specifying to be nice and, like, specifically use the, like, carrot and the stick analogy, which I feel like implies that up until this point, it's been strictly stick, which is insane. That is an insane thing to do. Even if you just remove it from, like, the fully, like, moral and ethical nightmare. If you had a golden goose, would you not take good care of the golden goose?
Montana does not approve of the
it's so
methods.
and she's a child too. It would be like, not like it would be one thing if it was an adult, but like if an individual were like fully formed and had their own life or whatever, and then was kidnapped and like used to harvest things, then it would make sense that no amount of like, hey, ice cream would like get them on your side. But a child, a baby, that like they're evolutionarily designed to do exactly what you want. Like, they're the most manipulatable beings ever.
And you're gonna be mean to them.
You didn't have to. You could have not done that.
She's really upset.
God.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that.
And
could have been just as powerful, which is the fucking worst part. That's not the worst part. There are lots of worst parts. Okay.
Well, we'll
Moving
see if it gets
on.
worse throughout this arc, but that's where we're left for episode 6 of season 4 of My Hero Academia. Are we okay? Are we ready
I'm
for
fine.
episode 7 of My Hero Academia season 4?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.